Same team, same shop, same race cars. Tyler Reddick has the most wins of any driver in the NASCAR Cup Series this season. Corey Heim has 2 victories in just 8 starts. Bubba Wallace has 0. And now, the part-timer who just beat the entire field at the Brickyard 400 is about to become Bubba Wallace's full-time teammate in 2027. The seats at 2311 Racing are getting crowded, and Bubba Wallace is running out of time. Let me walk you through exactly how we got here, because this story is bigger than one bad Sunday. 2311 Racing is the team owned by basketball legend Michael Jordan and 3-time Daytona 500 winner Denny Hamlin. The team was founded in 2020, and Bubba Wallace was the original driver, selected to drive the number 23 Toyota Camry when the team made its debut in the 2021 Daytona 500. He has been there from the early days. He helped make this team what it is. On October 4th, 2021, Bubba Wallace made history at Talladega when he captured his first career Cup Series win, becoming just the second African-American driver to win in the Cup Series and earning 2311 Racing its first ever victory. He is not just another driver on the roster. He is one of the faces of this team. So, when Bubba Wallace struggles, it is a big deal. And this past weekend at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, he struggled badly. It went wrong before the race even started. On Friday, in the only practice session of the weekend, Bubba Wallace got into the outside wall early. He tapped it just a lap and a half into his run. That is not a great way to begin the biggest race weekend of your season, especially when you are the defending winner of the event. Bubba Wallace did not hide from it either. I wish it was as easy as copy and pasting, but it's not, clearly, as I go banging off the fence on lap 1.5, he admitted to reporters. His team checked the car overnight, and Bubba Wallace confirmed the damage was not serious. After going through tech and scans last night and everything, the car is fine. We're basically how we unloaded, he said. But the tone for the weekend had already been set. Then qualifying went badly too. Bubba Wallace had to start way back in 29th, deep in the field. At Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that is a nightmare position. The track is narrow and it is extremely hard to pass. Bubba Wallace himself explained the challenge before the race even happened. It still matters about execution and getting a really good lap. It's really hard to pass here, he said. He also pointed out how different things were 1 year earlier. I think we really started out on the right foot last year, qualifying on the front row, giving ourselves a great opportunity for great pit selection. All those things add up to a really good race. This year, he had none of those advantages. The fast cars up front usually stay up front at this track. The cars in the back usually stay stuck. And that is exactly what happened to Bubba Wallace. Here is the hard truth about his race. Nothing happened. And that is a bad thing. Bubba Wallace started 29th and ran near the back all day. Lap after lap, he was just there, stuck in traffic. There was no big charge to the front, no fight for the lead, no moment where fans sat up and took notice. To make matters worse, his day included a chaotic pit stop late in the race in which he struck members of his own pit crew after getting a bump from behind just before reaching his box, although none of the crew members appeared seriously hurt. When the checkered flag flew after 160 laps of racing, Bubba Wallace crossed the line in 28th place. Think about that. 160 laps, and he moved up just one single position from where he started. That is a long, quiet, painful afternoon for a driver who won this exact race 1 year ago. Now, let us put that next to his teammates, because that is where it really stings. Tyler Reddick, his full-time 2311 Racing teammate, started third right up front and finished inside the top 10 in 10th place. And Corey Heim, the part-time 2311 Racing driver in the number 67 Toyota, won the whole thing. 2 2311 Racing cars had real speed all weekend. One of them won the race, and Bubba Wallace was buried in the back the entire day. Same team, same cars, same tools. Wildly different results. And the way Corey Heim won makes it even more remarkable. This was his 15th career Cup Series start. He had never completed a single lap at Indianapolis Motor Speedway before this weekend. On the decisive restart with 34 laps remaining, Corey Heim got a strong, sustained push from Joey Logano in the outside lane and barely cleared race leader Denny Hamlin, his own team owner, before slipping in front of him and stalling his momentum. Denny Hamlin dropped to 5th, and Corey Heim spent the rest of the race holding off Christopher Bell, crossing the famous yard of bricks just .287 seconds ahead. "Yeah, that was a damn handful," Corey Heim said after the race. "I was hanging on for dear life once the shade went down and the pace picked up. My car got really loose. And I had never really been in a lot of clean air throughout the day, so that was the hardest I've ever fought in my life to just make sure I focused on exits and kept them in dirty air." He continued, "I'm pretty out of breath. That was a workout. It was a dream come true. Winning at the Brickyard. That's unbelievable. Caught a break early with the pit cycle. And just executed all day. Made no mistakes." The history books took notice. Corey Heim became the first driver since A.J. Foyt in 1965 to claim his first 2 Cup victories within his opening 15 starts. He is also the youngest driver to win the Brickyard 400 since Jeff Gordon in 1994, and the first part-time driver to record a multi-win Cup season since Davey Allison and Tim Richmond in 1987. Even the man he beat gave him full credit. He did a great job. He showed excellent mental toughness, put together 35 really good laps. "I didn't have an opportunity," Christopher Bell said. And 23XI Racing has now won back-to-back Brickyard 400s, first with Bubba Wallace in 2025 and now with Corey Heim in 2026. 2 different drivers, and this time neither one of them was Bubba Wallace. But here is where Bubba Wallace showed his character. He did not throw a fit. He did not hide from the cameras. After the race, he walked over to Corey Heim's crew and congratulated them. Think about how hard that is. It was the worst day of his season at the track that means the most to him. And he still went and shook the hands of the people who just beat him. That is a class act, and nobody can question who Bubba Wallace is as a person. This fits a bigger pattern of growth in his life. Denny Hamlin spoke about it openly back in September 2025. Bubba's turnaround over the last few years has just been, I can't believe it truthfully, the maturity he has shown. He's been the lead car at 23XI really the entire year, Denny Hamlin said at the time. Fatherhood has been a massive part of that change. His son Bex was lying on his chest at the Yard of Bricks after last year's win, and his daughter Cameron Jade was born earlier this year. Bubba Wallace has also been open about his struggles with mental health and depression over the years. And he has carried the pressure of being the first full-time black driver in NASCAR since Wendell Scott in the 1970s. But the handshake did not stop the bigger conversation, because the whole 23XI Racing scoreboard now looks ugly for him. Tyler Reddick won the first 3 races of the season in a row, becoming the first driver in NASCAR Cup Series history to ever do that. And he owns the most wins of anyone in the series this year. Corey Heim, the part-timer, has 2 wins, and Bubba Wallace has 0. Not 1 win all season. He is the only full-time 23XI Racing driver from the front of the stable who has not made it to victory lane. His teammates are stacking trophies. He is stacking rough weekends. And that is why fans are asking the big, uncomfortable question. Is Bubba Wallace being left behind by his own team? There are 2 sides to this debate. And it is important to be fair. Some fans say slow down. It is one bad weekend. He hit the wall in practice, he qualified badly, and at a track like Indianapolis Motor Speedway, that ruined his whole day. His recent form actually supports this defense. Since the start of June, Bubba Wallace recorded 2 top 5 finishes plus a pair of 6th-place results, and he led 5 of the 7 races in that stretch. His 29th place finish at Atlanta was deceiving too, because he actually crossed the line second behind Ryan Blaney before being penalized for a last-lap pass below the yellow line on Carson Hocevar. "We got a better understanding of the rule," Bubba Wallace explained afterward. "I thought they would care about the data that I tried to give the spot back, but the damage was already done. He sits 13th in the standings with a 69-point advantage over the Chase bubble, and just days before the Brickyard, he sounded confident. Really, really confident. I mean, the last 3 weeks, take away the penalty at Atlanta, we're looking at 3 top 10s in a row, he said. Other fans are not buying it. They say, look at the pattern. Tyler Reddick has speed. Corey Heim has speed. Bubba Wallace does not have the results. When 2 of your teammates are winning and you finish 28th, at some point people start asking why. Is it the driver? Is it the support he is getting? Is it both? And to be clear, nobody has said on the record that Bubba Wallace gets worse cars or less attention. That part is fan talk, not fact. But you can understand why people are talking. Because the gap is right there on the results sheet for the whole world to see. Now here is the thing that makes it even more tense. Corey Heim, the part-timer who just beat him, is joining 2311 Racing full-time next year. The team announced on May 30th, 2026 that Corey Heim will drive the number 35 Toyota Camry in 2027, replacing Riley Herbst. Denny Hamlin made his belief in the young driver crystal clear. Generational drivers only come by every now and then, and I firmly believe that we have one here. Denny Hamlin said. To his credit, Bubba Wallace welcomed the news publicly. He'll be competitive for sure. He'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited for him. He's come to me for a lot of questions and advice over the last couple years that we've worked together, Bubba Wallace said. There is a silver lining for him as well. According to Fox Sports insider Bob Pockras, Bubba Wallace is expected to be back in the number 23 car for the 2027 season, driving alongside Tyler Reddick and Corey Heim. His seat is safe for now. But on raw speed alone, Bubba Wallace is currently 3rd in line at his own team, and that is not a comfortable place to be when the building is about to get more crowded. So, forget one race. The real question is bigger now. On a team with 3 fast cars and only so much room at the top, where does Bubba Wallace actually stand? The math ahead of him is unforgiving. 4 races remain before the 16-driver chase field is set, starting at Iowa Speedway on August 9, followed by a string of short tracks including Richmond and New Hampshire. And under the new chase format this year, a win no longer guarantees a spot in the postseason. That safety net is gone, and Bubba Wallace knows better than anyone what it meant. Winning in the regular season was something I had never done with my previous 2 wins, he said this weekend. That just allows you to unlock a new way of thinking inside the race car. The next 4 weeks after our Brickyard win, I didn't really care how we finished because I knew we were in the playoffs. This year there is no unlocking that feeling. Every single week counts, and the pressure is only going up, not down. Bubba Wallace helped build this house. Now he is fighting just to keep his room in it. 1 year ago, he was the story of the season. Today, he is the question mark, and how he answers it may decide his whole future at 2311 Racing. So, what do you think? Is this just a slump, or is Bubba Wallace truly being left behind by his own team? Let us know in the comments.